Hello, my name is Dan Colgan, and I am the organist and music guy here at Gloria Lutheran Church in Olympia, Washington. Today is March 15th, and the hymn that I would like to look at is Your Heart, O God, is Grieved, number 602 in our red ELW hymnals. This is the Kyrie that we've used in the liturgy each week during Lent. This is a Slovak Kyrie. Kyrie being a Greek word literally translating to Lord, and in normal liturgical context, Kyrie eleison, or Lord have mercy. This was written by Jerzy Trnavski, who lived from 1592 to 1637. Trnavski is known as the father of Slovak hymnody and has been called the Luther of the Slavs. And we ELCA Lutherans do have a commemoration day for him, which you will find on May 29th. Trnavski was born in Silesia, in present-day Poland, right on the borders of both present-day the Czech Republic and present-day Slovakia. He was the son of a blacksmith and went on to Wittenberg University in Germany, where Martin Luther had taught just 50 years prior. Trnavski then taught in a number of places and also led a singing society, later becoming an ordained Lutheran pastor serving in Bohemia. Now, the 30 Years' War was not very kind to him. 3 of his children died at this time, as did half of his congregation in Bohemia. He was imprisoned and eventually exiled back to Silesia and became the court preacher to the Orava castle, at which time he began to write hymns. He also translated the Augsburg Confession and a number of Lutheran chorales into Slovak. In 1629, he published his first hymnal with 150 hymns, 20 of which he wrote. 7 years later, in 1636, he published another with 414 hymns, 100 of which he wrote. This 1636 hymnal, known as the Trinotius, is a very important hymnal. It's since had 135 editions published. Sadly, he died a year after its publication and was buried in an unmarked grave near his church at the time in present-day Slovakia. However, he left behind quite a legacy. The Trinotius, his hymnal, along with the Czech Bible and his Slovak translations of the Augsburg Confession, have been called the cornerstones of the Slovak Reformation. Back to our hymn today. This was included in the 1636 Trinotius and was one of 12 Kyries that were found there for different occasions. This one was assigned for general use. We can surmise that Trnavski wrote the tune of this, but we can't be 100% certain. We do know, however, that it was rearranged by Michael Kutsky, a Slovak organist, around the late 1800s. Taking a look at how this hymn is built, how it's constructed, it starts with the leader beginning every verse and then the congregation responding. Now, the traditional Kyrie simply reads, Lord have mercy, Christ have mercy, Lord have mercy. However, Trnavski's original version of this had 9 of those, with the congregation responding after each. In 1969, Jaroslav Vajda retranslated this to English and pared it down to 3 verses. The first verse that we have now begins, O God, Father in heaven, have mercy upon us. The second, O God, Redeemer of the world, O Son of God, Redeemer of the world, have mercy upon us. And the third, O God, Holy Spirit, have mercy upon us. The congregation then, of course, responds in turn after each of these verses. Verse 1 is particularly appropriate for Lent. It reads, Your heart, O God, is grieved, we know, by every evil, every woe. Upon your cross-forsaken Son, our death is laid and peace is won. The congregational response to verse 3 has quite a different tone, asking both for aid, as a traditional Kyrie does, but then asking God to help us grow and inviting God into our lives. It reads, O lavish giver, come to aid the children that your word has made. Now make us grow and help us pray. Bring joy and comfort. Come to stay. To me, this is the heart of this hymn, or this piece of liturgy. It takes this very traditional, have mercy on us for what we've done wrong sentiment, and it turns it into a sentiment not of fear or retribution, but of invitation and acknowledgement that it's God who helps steer us in the right direction. It's a way to admit our own shortcomings while also affirming that God is a being that we want around, even if we're sometimes a bit ashamed of ourselves. What a good reminder.